wait a minute until I get that tube on there. I will get so I got the second bolt. Now I should be able to get that pin in there. Just see what I'm doing. There it goes. Press it all the way in. I think I'm just going to reuse this cotter pin because it still looks good. I'm going to straighten it a bit. Let's see what I see from down here. Now I spread the ends on that cotter pin. That all looks good. Just noticing some grime around the lever here. Probably just grease. Some dirt on it. That feels pretty good. All right. I guess those hoses are happy there. I'm gonna stick these back where they go. And guess I'll put the new copper washer. Gotta install this banjo bolt. Clean it up. All right, so I just put the banjo bolt back on the caliper. Double check that these bolts are torqued. And I put blue Loctite on them. I've got new copper washers on me. So I'm going to leave those caliper bolts a little loose until I get fluid in the system. And I can really press the brake lever to kind of center it to add brake fluid. I'll definitely be checking for leaks after this. So I'm going to hook my vacuum pump back up, my Mighty Vac, to the farthest brake bleeder. Pull a vacuum, crack the nut, start pulling that fluid through the system. Add some more fluid. So, it's looking pretty good. Working the pedal a little bit. A bit more fluid. Let's see how that pedal feels. Bleed the other side. Tighten that up. Loosen that side. Get a lot of fresh fluid in there. Lock it up. Definitely feeling a lot tighter. So now I'm just going to release the vacuum. I do want to tighten up these caliper bolts with pressure on the brake lever. Just to make sure that it's centered. And I remember these were quite tight, so I'm gonna even torque them a bit with my breaker bar for my hex key, even with the blue Loctite on there. Oh yeah, that's tight. I'm gonna do this one more time. Yep, it's tight as. Now, with the mighty back hose still hooked up, I'm gonna build pressure in the pedal, loosen it, and just move any bubbles through the system. And you just keep doing that till you stop seeing bubbles. Make sure you top off the reservoir before it runs dry while you're doing this. I'm going to tighten that one back up, build up the vacuum before I disconnect the hose. Just slurp all that fluid through, put it back on the other one. And I'll do the same thing. I'm going to build some pressure, open the valve, get the bubbles out, close the valve, build pressure, open the valve, close the valve. Alright, well that's all there is to it. Now you've got completely rebuilt brake system in the rear. Don't have anything to worry about. It should run fine. If you replace the pad or the rotors, you probably want to bed them in, which you can do deliberately, or you can just not brake 100% for the first like 100 miles or so. You just want a even coat of pad material on the rotor. You don't want, if you stop and the brakes are hot, it'll leave a patch in one place, and then that patch will build up and you'll eventually get kind of a warped rotor feeling, and that's never good. So yeah, looks like my brake fluid's at the right level. Put the cap back on. Clean the diaphragm a little bit. Honestly, the brakes don't feel that much tighter than when I started. But it's worth it. They say to do it every 2 years in the service manual. Kawasaki recommends it in their maintenance schedule. Replace all brake seals every 2 years. That's probably a warranty liability kind of thing for them. But, 28-year-old seals in your brakes are definitely not a good thing. Do not trust them for very long, especially for high demand, high speed stuff where they're getting really hot. Those seals are worn out, they'll eventually start leaking fluid. So it's definitely worth doing, 4 hours probably, I'd say, to do all this work. And at least to do it as thoroughly as I've done it here. And you can trust that your brakes will be serving you well for a long time to come, maybe another 28 years. And if anything, you just learn a lot more about how it all works. That's worth, more than money can buy. Anyways, I'm Dragon. Thanks for watching. I guess I'm going to go try these brakes out. So you guys have fun riding, be safe, and I'll see you next time.